Hello everyone. So today's discussion we will discuss about the exponent rules. So before we will start, I'm inviting you to please subscribe on my YouTube channel by simply clicking the subscribe button below and then click the notification bell for you to be updated for my latest videos. So today, exponent rules. So there are 7 rules under the exponent. So we will first go over with the 4 first, then later on we will continue the other 3 rules. So we have here the assumptions for us to discuss these rules under the exponent. So the assumption here is assume that A and B are non-zero real numbers. If we say A and B are non-zero real numbers, meaning it could be a positive number or it could be a negative number. Then M and N are any integers. So if we say integers, these are numbers wherein exact numbers, either positive or negative, but exact numbers. For example, -2, -10, -100. Then we have also 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, those are positive integers, and -2, -10, those are examples of negative integers. Okay, so first is we have this rule, the negative property of exponents. So under this property, it says that b raised to the power of -n, that is equal to 1 over b raised to the power of n. Meaning, para ma-positive or so that for us to have a positive value of -n, we will just write this under the fraction bar. We have the numerator 1 that is over b over n. So that would be the corresponding value. That would be the rule. Okay? Or 1 over b minus n, or 1 over b raised to the power of -n, that would also equal to b raised to the power of n. So meaning, if we have a negative values of our exponents, all we have to do is to get the inverse of that value. Okay, so the inverse of 1 over b raised to the power of -n, that is equal to b raised to the power of n. Well, this one, b raised to the power of -n, that is equal to 1 over b raised to the power of n. So I have here some examples for us to illustrate and understand really what this rule all about, or what do we mean by this rule. So for example, in number 1, 2 raised to the power of -1, 2 raised to the power of -1, that is equal to, so since negative ang i-exponent, para siya ma-positive, aton siya ibutang sa ubos sa fraction bar. Ana. So in that case, the answer would be 1/2. So that would be the final answer. Number 2, the rule that we can use also is the negative property of exponent to solve. So 1 over 3 raised to the power of -1. So take note, the exponent kay ari siya sa ubos, naa siya sa ubos sa fraction bar. So para siya ma-positive ang exponent, aton siya i-transfer or aton siya i-suwat dito sa taas. So this will become 3 raised to the power of 1, or that is equal to 3. So that is what we mean by the negative exponents. Okay, next let us proceed to rule number 2, the product property of exponent. So in the product property of exponent, we have here b raised to the power of m times b raised to the power of n, that is equal to b raised to the power of m plus n. So assuming that the base here, this is the base, b and b, then we have the exponents m and n. So if the base are the same, assuming that the base are the same, then all we have to do is to add the 2 exponents. Okay? To multiply these numbers, we will just add first the exponents, then simplify. So for example, here, our value of b is 2, then our m is 1, then our n is equal to 3. So to simplify this, instead of saying 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2. Then 2 raised to the power of 3, that is equal to 8. No, we will just copy the base first. Then we will add the exponent. 1 plus 3. So that would be equal to 2 raised to the power of 4. Then we will multiply 2 4 times by itself. So take note, the exponent tells you how many times you are going to multiply the number by itself. Okay? So ikapila ni i-multiply ang base, which is 2, sa ikaugalingon is ikaupat. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 16. So that is the answer. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, then 8 times 2 is equal to 16. Another example is here, 3 raised to the power of 2, then we have 3 raised to the power of 4. So in this case, so take note, we have here 3, which is the base, then the exponents are 2 and 4. Since same ang base niya, all we have to do is to copy the base, then we are going to add the exponent, which is 2 plus 4, which is 3 raised to the power of 6. So 3 raised to the power of 6 is how much? That is equal to 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. You will multiply 3 by itself 6 times. So 3 raised to the power of 6, that is equal to 729. So that is how we are going to apply this property from these numbers or values. So in number 3, we have the quotient property of exponent. So take note, quotient, these would be the answer when we will be dividing numbers. So in this case, the quotient of this value, b raised to the power of m and b raised to the power of n, our base here is b, and m and our would be our exponents. So in this case, if n would be that exponent of our denominator, all we have to do is to subtract it to the exponent on the numerator. So aton siya i-subtract ang exponent sa ubos dito sa exponent sa taas. So since our exponent above is m, then the exponent below is n, then the result would be b raised to the power of m minus n. That would be the quotient property of exponent. So for example here, our b is 2, our m is 4, and our n is 3. So to solve this, since they have the same base, all we have to do is to copy the 2, then we will subtract the exponent below in the denominator to the exponent on the numerator. So 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 3, that is equal to 1, or that is equal to 2. Okay, so that would be the answer. We have 2. Usually, if we are going to solve this, some students or some people would solve this 2 raised to the power of 4, that is equal to 16, then 2 raised to the power of 3, that is equal to 8, then 16 divided by 8, that is equal to 2 in that case. But the easiest way is we will be using this property para siya mas dali compared sa kato kay dagko naman nga numbers ang iya solbon. We are dealing already with bigger numbers if we are going to simplify this one by one. Okay, so another example is 3 raised to the power of 4. We have 3 raised to the power of 4. The base is 3, then the exponents would be 4 minus 2, which is equal to 3 squared, which is equal to 9. So again, the exponent tells us how many times we are going to multiply the base by itself. Okay, so twice, kaduha siya nato i-multiply ang 3 sa iya mismo kaugalingon, which is 3 times 3, that would equal to 9. So that would be for the quotient property of exponent. So this time we have the zero property of exponent. So in this case, any base or any number, the b here, the base, if the base raised to the power of 0, the result is equal to 1. Or any number raised to the power of 0 that is equal to 1. So why? Why is it 1? So can you still recall this property, quotient property number 3? So suppose, for example, here, this one, example here, we will cite an example. We have 3 raised to the power of 2, then 3 raised to the power of 2. Okay? So we have here numbers. So the base would be 3 and the exponents would be 2. So in this case, by quotient property, this will become 3 raised to the power of 2 minus 2. Diba kaya maumanin siya ang exponent sa ubos aton i-minus sa igbaw. So that will become 2 minus 2, that it will become 3 raised to the power of 0. So in that case, ma-0 ang aton exponent. So why is it 1 man? Why is it always 1? Simply because if we are going to simplify this, 3 squared, that is equal to 9. 3 squared, that is equal also to 9. 9 divided by 9, that is equal to 1. So if you would be asked, what would be the answer if 3 raised to the power of 0? So that is the result, that is equal to 1. We will go back here on the basic. Or we could also here, or other way of answering this is 3 multiplied by itself, then 3 times 3. So cancel. The result is 1. So 1 divided by 1, that is equal to 1. Okay? So that is the explanation. So 8 raised to the power of 0, that is equal to 1. 10,000 raised to the power of 0, that is equal to 1. Whatever values you may raise by 0, the result is equal to 1 by this property of exponent. For number 4, the zero property of exponent. Okay, so we will continue on the 5th rule to 7th rule under the exponent. So on the 5th rule, we have here power of a power property of exponent. We have b raised to the power of m, then raised to the power of n. This is what we call a power of a power, because the power m, gi-raise pa jud siya sa another one, which is n. So in that case, if these things will happen, so all we have to do is to multiply the powers. B raised to the power of m and n. We multiply the powers. Katong power, the exponent, kay aton i-multiply. So in that case, we have b raised to the power of n. So corresponding examples here, number 9 and 10. Example here is 3 raised to the power of 1 times raised to the power of 2. So that simply means that the exponents 1 and 2 will be multiplied. So here we have 3 times 1 times 2, that is equal to 3 raised to the power of 2. Then we have 9. So that would be the answer. So the powers are being multiplied. Another one, for number 10, we have 2 raised to the power of 3 raised to the power of 4. So 3 and 4 are exponents, or are powers of 2. So we have here the base, which is 2. So we will multiply 3 times 4. This will become 2 raised to the power of 12. So in this case, we will multiply 2 12 times by itself. So 2 raised times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Ika-12 nimo siya i-multiply ang 2 mismo sa iya kaugalingon, or mismo sa iya number itself. So in that case, the answer would be 2 raised to the power of 12. You can check using your calculator. We have the answer. We have 4,096. You can double check it using your calculator. So for number 6, we have the power of a product property of exponent. So power of a product property. So we have here a number, the base AB, then the exponent is M. So other way of solving it, by multiplying a and b, instead of multiplying a and b, so we will multiply the exponent in each factor. So we will multiply, or we will raise each factor by m. So a raised to the power of m, b raised to the power of m. So considering that a and b are factors of this number. So for example, here, the value of our a is 4, the value of our b is 3. Then they are raised into 2. Their exponents would be 2. So in that case, so usually our answer here is 4 times 3, then raised to 4 times 3, that would be 12, diba? By PEMDAS, raised to the power of 2. So 4 times 3, that is equal to 12, then raised to the power of 2, that is equal to 144. But in this case, using this property, we will distribute the exponent on each base. So we have 4 squared times 3 squared. So this will become 16 times 9. So in that case, is 16 times 9, that is equal to 144. So Kalina, 4 times 3, that is equal to 12, diba? So 12 times 12, that is equal to 144. So same thing, same result. Nga, may tabo. Same thing or same result will come out once you do this property. So other example here is 2 times 4 raised to the power of 3. So we have the base 2 and 4, the product of 2 and 4. Then this will be raised by 3. So 2 raised to the power of 3 here. Then another one is 4 raised to the power of 3. So in that case, 2 raised to the power of 3, we have 2 times 2 times 2, that would equal to 8. Then 4 times 4 is 16. So times 4, that is equal to 64. You can double check if that is correct. Then 8 times 64, that is equal to 500. 512. 8 times 4, that is 32. 8 times 6, 48. Okay, that is 512 for the result in number 12. So the last rule under the exponent, we have the power of a quotient property of exponent. So in this case, a over b raised to the power of m is the same as a raised to the power of m over b raised to the power of m. So here, our base would be a over b. So we will distribute the exponent on each value in the numerator at the same time on the denominator. So for example, we have 1/2 raised to the power of 3, though we know that that is equal to 1 over 8. So we will apply. So this will become 1 raised to the power of 3, then 2 raised to the power of 3. So we will multiply 1 3 times by itself, that would equal to 1. Then another one is 2 raised to the power of 3. We will multiply 2 3 times by itself. 2 times 2 times 2, that would equal to 8. So that would be the final answer. So last example, number 14. So same property, ang nga property ang mo-reflect kani gihapon. So 3 squared over 4 squared, that is equal to 9 over 16. So those are the rules or the laws under exponents wherein we can use, okay? So to solve these kind of situations or these kind of problems. Alright. Okay, so I just hope that you won't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. At the same time, click the notification bell for you to be updated on my next videos. So see you on my next tutorial. Thank you.